Welcome to the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service. Located at 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, and 530 West Main Street, Silva, North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service is your #1 stop prior and after your epic fly fishing adventure in western North Carolina. Visit tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a guided trip, or even shop for your official Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. Today's episode is brought to you by Norvise. From their original 1970s prototype to the latest Legacy C in 5 amazing colors: Radical Red, Sunset Orange, Shamrock Green, Royal Purple, Liberty Blue. Norvise has been committed to one thing: efficiency. By adding the Norvise Auto Bobbin to your Norvise, you can tie better flies faster. For more information, visit www.nor-vice.com. Here in our Silva studios today, we have Coach Dale Diesel Collins, Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennett, and I'm your host, Shannon Big Mess Messer.
My real voice.
What's that?
But that's not my real voice.
I've prepped it all day. No, that's my real voice, man.
Who's your friend there?
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mr. Crawdad.
Mr. Crawdad.
It's Cray Cray. It's Finn's Cray Cray pattern.
Looks good, man.
Thinking of fish?
Yeah, that will fish for sure. Yeah.
I think so too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Everything fishes.
Yeah.
It will.
Absolutely.
Did you see that post from Southern Culture where that guy was throwing
Yes.
tires in the river?
I did, and they
And
caught
he-
him.
and they
turned
caught-
himself
well, he
in.
turned himself in.
Yes.
For throwing tires in there because there was such like social media backlash. I guess a bunch of people knew who it was.
Somewhere there was a camera.
Yeah.
I think I read it that there was a camera, and so it got circulated.
Mm-hmm.
Guy went and turned himself in.
When tires fish, I guess. Is that creating habitat? Is that like sinking a battleship or something?
It's slowly, definitely leaking carcinogens in there, right? I mean,
I guess. I don't know how long does it take for a tire to rot.
Does it ever?
I don't know. It's like a tree. A tree doesn't rot if it's underwater. I wonder what a tire does.
I don't know.
I don't know.
it's petroleum product, right? So it didn't really get along with water to begin with.
That's right.
When you sink a battleship, they're creating a reef.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So it's life on that one. So it's a little different. It's a man-made reef. Well, they take those, concrete from job projects and stuff too, and they'll strategically push them off the barge to create
Put
that.
them subway cars out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use subway cars.
I didn't. Yeah.
I think it's anything.
I'm learning something here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on this week's episode of the Tuckcast with a Splash of Bourbon, how do you make artificial reefs with subway cars?
All
That's
from
it.
talking about tires in the river.
That's interesting.
Man, I love that line with the Norvise thing about tying better flies
Faster?
and
I was wondering if you had forgot.
efficient. I like
It's
it. Efficient. On your voice, you're like, efficient.
Yes.
But, man, it is. The Rainbow Warriors, and I'd never tied Pergon before. And, man, it's awesome. They really come out well. I shocked myself.
The hardest part to the Perdigon is the UV.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the longest part if you don't put the wing pad on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
What's the wing pad? I might have left that part out.
Tune in next week as Dell will describe to us what a wing pad is.
I mean,
He's going to go YouTube it tonight and be like, oh, what did I forget?
yeah.
What's a hook? I forgot that part.
I did plug in the DVD.
Yeah, with Norm.
And I found another video where he's like, be sure you watch the cassette, the VHS included with your Vice. It was so funny to
man.
see that.
Yeah.
Is that the same? I haven't watched the DVD, so is
Okay.
it the same as like all the YouTube videos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
So I also noticed in the stuff, and Tim can maybe give us a better answer on this. All the customer service info in the packaging is Washington State. So what happens when you call that?
I don't know.
Maybe we should call it.
Let's do it right now.
Maybe we should call it.
Go grab one in box.
I mean, it's like they just finished lunch up there in Washington State, so it's not like they're eating dinner.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I'm not for sure.
Let me know, Tim.
I don't know. So do you feel like you tie better flies faster?
That's it. Yes, I do.
Do you feel like your fly is better or you're just more efficient?
Both. I'll end up like I'll start to wrap it the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
I can spin the spinny thing.
Right.
And then I'm controlling where the wrap is on
Correct
itself. Like I was working on some egg patterns, and it works out nicely.
Right.
Can you tell a
difference?
Anybody?
Can you tell a difference setting out and maybe tying? I don't know what's a lot for you.
I can hammer out like a dozen nymphs in an hour.
2.
Okay. So doing it the conventional way versus the spinny way.
Yeah.
Are you telling a difference just in your arm?
No, I don't think in a dozen you can. I don't think you can tell that.
Okay.
But if I was tying 4 dozen in one sitting, I think it'd be more important, like what kind of pad am I sitting on because my butt's hurting.
Correct. That's
I
true.
don't think I'd be thinking about my arm.
No, I'm just know if you could tell a difference in it.
Yeah,
If
I
you
work
tie
out.
a lot,
I work out.
that's what LMFAO said too in that song.
I work out.
Work out.
No, wrapping a hook has never exhausted me.
Okay.
I
I'm just curious if you felt it because I could tell a difference in doing.
Well, you
a
tie like
volume.
100 dozen a night.
No,
It's like,
not
Stacey will
lately.
be like,
Not
well, it's
lately.
9:30, time to go to bed, Dale. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, wonder what Shannon. Oh, Shannon's still tying flies.
I stayed up until it was after 10 o'clock last night messing with that.
Yeah.
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 I tied all them dumbbell eyes.
Man, you go to bed
All of
so
yeah.
early.
There you go.
You go to bed so early. We've got a whole group text between all the staff members minus Bobby, so we can text and not wake Bobby up at
Right.
8:30 at night.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you know I'm tying flies that night, you can wrap me in on that text maybe.
So how do we know that? You'll do like an alert us, put something on the
I'll
calendar.
send you a picture of a fly and you'll be like, oh,
Bobby's
Shoot a
tying
flare off the
flies.
top of your mountain.
There you go. Yeah. So those things that you were tying up were called.
belly beans.
Thank you. I didn't forgot too.
What is a belly bean? That sounds like belly button lint. Like,
It's for bluegill, brim, whatever you want to call them.
yeah,
Sunfish.
that's
I'm
cool.
sure bass will eat it too. I bet a trout will eat it, especially a DH fish. I bet if you
Right.
take that thing out right now to the tuck, they'll probably crush
Mhm.
it.
Did you get your light assembled okay?
Which light did you get?
That's a joke towards Dale.
Was it any easier to install than the Norvice light?
It was the Norvice light.
Man, you had a heads up. I'm just saying. So I get home, and I'm like, how do you, I'm looking at this thing. I got this light. I'm excited about this Norvice light I got. It ties into the Norvice, but I don't see how to connect it. So I'm like, anytime I don't know how to do something, I go to YouTube. Like, need to change the radiator on my car? I'm going to go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. There ain't no videos on the light. How to install the light. So I knew Shannon was up tying flies. So I texted Shannon, how do you use all this thing? Shannon FaceTimes me. I'm like, whoa, this must be complicated. He's wanting to FaceTime. So it was quicker than a hiccup. Yeah, I didn't know that thing unscrewed. And I'm not going to give it away because we're going to make a YouTube video and y'all should go watch it.
I just really wanted to see what was going on over there.
I was embarrassed for you to see like how messy my fly tying table was because
Dude, that's nothing.
it had like kids' dinner right beside it.
It's all right. No big deal.
Dale's like eating some spaghetti as he's tying.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's a rubber leg. Centipede leg.
Yeah.
Oh.
Daddy, I stepped on another hook.
Oh,
I
thanks
do
for
hear-
finding it for me.
I do hear about the cats and dogs every now and then.
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
the hook.
man. I'll get them.
But now with barbless comes in handy.
Yeah. Who was it that had that X-ray of their dog with the hook in their?
That was Doug.
Was it Doug? Yeah.
Doug Hanks?
It swallowed a girdle bug
Really?
that Doug tied.
The X-ray showed it.
And guess what Doug did for about 3 days?
Doug
Followed that dog
walked
around
the dog.
until he found it.
wow.
and he did find it.
And then he fished it.
Ugh.
But it was scented at that point.
I was
right?
going to say, is that not a violation? Oh.
I mean, that dog is so lucky to be alive. I mean,
Yeah, I would imagine if that thing like poked through your intestine and got like an infection or
Well, even just grabbed onto your intestine
yeah.
and ripped, Mm.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, let's
So,
dive into
What's
today's
today's episode about?
exciting episode concerning,
More delayed harvest
right,
throughout the state of North Carolina.
Correct,
We've
yeah.
covered
We've covered District 9.
yeah, kind of our district for the most part, I think. And now we're going to kind of dive into some of those. We probably won't go into as much detail as this, on those, but I think it's worth mentioning them all and talking about the ones we've fished or seen or whatever, and putting it out there to go check those areas out, because some of those are worth it. Some of them might be a little closer to metropolitan areas, so they may be busier than what we see, which is good or bad either way. So Dale's got the handy wildlife book over here that he's going to read through and help us remember them all, because there's what did I say there was 34 or 35 or something like that?
I can't recall. I've never fished any away from this part of the state. So hearing about the other ones down, toward Morganton area, places like that.
Have you ever fished any of the ones over by Brevard, like Mills or
I have fished the
Little River?
East Fork of the French Broad.
There you go.
It is 34 delayed harvest sections in 21
Cha-ching.
counties.
Yep.
Cha-ching.
I hear about
That's
them.
21% of the state. Sorry.
Hear about them from people who come in and say, "Hey, I go up to like Wilson's Creek, and which is closer
Mhm.
to those areas, so
Yeah,
they
it's
run
not
up
far
for a
from Greensboro.
quick little trip there." And Dale was sharing with me one day, folks kayaking
Oh, yeah.
on Wilson's Creek, and that was big.
Yeah, there's
Big,
some
big
big
water.
water in there.
Big
and
water.
It doesn't depend on, it's not like rain dependent. It's just there. Pretty much year round. And you'll see, like I've been fishing up there and seen, and this is in the hatchery supported section, but dive teams going in, river dive teams, like, practicing river rescue type stuff. Are we starting with Wilson Creek?
I think we should maybe go by district if we can.
District?
Yeah, or something like that.
I mean, we can go by the stocking schedule and just start with Allegheny County. I didn't
Let's-
fish that one.
Let's do that.
Just go alphabetical order.
There you go. By county, alphabetical order.
So Allegheny County, that is a pretty remote county. I mean, there's no good roads that get to Allegheny County. Northwest, North Carolina, east of Ashe County. It's up there. It's considered high country. Sparta is the town there. Beautiful country for sure. So Little River, you fished it?
Is that the one with Triple Falls?
No.
Which Little River?
Little River, Allegheny County.
I've never fished that one.
Me either.
And that's the story on that one, folks.
And moving right along. Now, Ashe County. No, we're serious. We're moving on. Ashe County, that's got a fun one. Helton Creek.
I've never fished that one, but you have with John.
I have.
I've heard
with,
Helton Creek.
With Schweitzer.
That one's not too old. It's only a few years old.
It's
right?
pretty young. Yep. 8 miles delayed harvest.
Oh, wow.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
And it's like from where it starts, the only reason it ends is because is for the Virginia border.
So how far is that
So-
from like Greensboro?
I think a lot of these, you're still looking at 3 hours. Because you
Yeah.
can get to Greensboro snippety snap now. You can get to Boone really fast now from Greensboro.
Yeah.
Winston-Salem, that whole, it's 4 lanes now all the way up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a ginger ale burp coming. You feel it like swell up. You're like, oh, this might not be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Does Shannon know about that? But yeah, I'd say bank on 3 hours for sure.
Yeah.
To get there. But they've got Trout Lake, Big Horse Creek. I have not fished, but you and I fished South Fork of the New River.
Yeah.
That's the one
That
we
was
kayaked.
That was before it was a DH though.
It was,
Yeah. We caught like a couple sucker fish.
and one trout.
Did we catch a trout?
I caught a trout,
Oh, there you go. That's what we were fishing for, so that's a good thing we caught one.
but it was like July.
Yeah, it was hot.
Oh, well, that's an
Oh, it was-
accomplishment. There you
I
go.
was so
be
burnt.
proud.
My legs got toasted, man.
This was
Really?
still hobby
Wow.
days for Dale
Gotcha,
and
sure.
Bobby fishing.
Mhm.
This
is that place still open? That
so
River
River Girl Outfitters was who. So we were kayak fishing the New River, but we ended up on the South Fork. I guess that's where the shuttle was going, so that's where we were fishing. I don't know. Yeah, River Girl Outfitters there in Todd. I think she's still there and in business, and was super helpful. Had a shuttle for us. Really nice van, trailer, throw your kayak on and all that. So, good selection of flies. I thought it was nice. So, if you're up there in Ashe County in Todd, not buying a Christmas tree because Christmas trees are the thing there.
Yeah, it's a big area.
Then go see them. But yeah, South Fork of New River. That's a cool one. What else?
I don't know. You got the list.
Big Horse Creek. Anybody fish that?
What county is that in?
That's Ashe.
That's in Ashe too.
Yeah, there's 4. There's 4 in Ashe County.
I have.
Now, with you talking about these places in Ashe County, is it pretty remote in the county where these delayed harvest waters are located? Or are they convenient?
So Ashe
to
County
town?
is remote.
I understand, but I mean, there's a county seat in each town?
West Jefferson.
So is it
Yeah.
correct? Used to deal or trade with those guys. So is this delayed harvest close to West Jefferson? Is it a ways from West Jefferson? Or here, our delayed harvests are fairly close to a town.
I mean, I think up there, that whole anywhere in that county is 15 minutes from West Jefferson. In my opinion, you know.
It's been a long time since I've been up there, so it's hard for me to pinpoint some of it.
Yeah, and it's just rolling hills. You know, your elevation's already like 3,000 feet there, so it's not like you got the steep drops and everything. You're just up there already. So, this is a new one, Burke County, Jacob Fork.
No, don't even know where that's at. All the others, at least I had an idea where they're at. That one, I don't even know where that's at.
That's not the.
This is a great one for everybody to comment on and give us insights and help all the listeners out there.
Would that be South Mountain State Park?
I want to pull that up.
Dale
I
is looking.
fished that then. I didn't know it was called Jacob Fork, if that's it. We're going to Google it. That's what we got the iPad here for.
Yes,
We play the Jeopardy music and see how fast Dale
Do you
can
have
get
it?
What do you think? That would be cool. If I
that
did.
would. I don't think
No.
I can do that though.
I don't know. Is there
It's
rights
not-
to that? Yeah.
Yes, there
probably
is.
pretty-
Why don't you play water in the background?
I talked to him.
Yeah, that guy called.
He
the one that had
called.
to stop and go to the
Did he?
bathroom.
He
Yeah.
told me, and I said, "Dude, I apologize. I really, I had
He
he,
emailed
yeah,
us.
yeah.
I know he's listening.
He was laughing, and I
Yeah.
said, "Dude, I thought Dale was joking."
No, I was seriously hard.
And so I did. He goes, "Oh no," he goes, "It was all good fun, all fun." So, yes,
That is hilarious, though. That
it was.
We're
Wasn't it?
making convenience stores money with people stopping and using the bathroom and buying a drink.
Making big water.
That's it.
Recycling coffee. Let's see, Jacob Fork, Hickory.
So it's right by Hickory.
That's what kicked up. Well, we should ask Preston about this. Preston's from Hickory.
Yeah, he might know it. Too bad he's not here.
He's floating.
He's on the water. Hey, he might be calling us a little bit. He's taking out down there below Ingalls.
Oh, you think he's going to get stuck? That'd be
Yeah.
a fun day.
He said Sunday he floated. He just dragged the boat up. Let's see, Jacob Fork. Yeah, so moving on. Jacob Fork, Burke County. Look it up.
Yeah, I've never been to that one that I know
No.
of. I don't, like I said, I don't even know it.
Yeah. There's Jacob Fork Park, 321. Yeah, it's south of Hickory, sure enough.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Mm.
Well, that's
South Fork of the Catawba River.
Okay.
So Jacob's Fork runs into that. And there's a park there. So I guess that's it. That's pretty cool.
I bet that one gets a lot of pressure. Hickory's a good-sized town, so
Yeah,
imagine
I
a
would
lot
think
of people
so.
hit it pretty good. Like I said, I think that's the downside to some of the ones that are a little further east is they're closer to metro areas.
That's right. Caldwell County. Yes, we get to talk about Wilson Creek.
Wilson Creek.
This is the one and only delayed harvest in Caldwell County. What's the capital of Caldwell County? The county seat.
I was about to say, I don't know if it's got a capital. That's a
It's
trick.
it's a
That
different
was-
world. It's got a capital.
That was a trick question.
What's the county seat? Caldwell County.
I would say, is it Morganton?
Nope.
Wrong county.
Why do you know this, Dale?
Because when you get
Is
a
John
fishing
Is
ticket,
John around? He could answer.
when you get a fishing ticket on Wilson Creek, you go to the city of Lenoir
Okay.
to pay the fine. So, also had a really nice Thomasville furniture manufacturing plant there. So, Lenoir's been a special place in my
Wilson
heart
Creek
growing
was
up.
fun, man. I haven't been there in years.
Man, it is. It's its own worst enemy.
But yeah.
So now we'll get a little more detailed. It's got a lot, beautiful hatchery supported area that, a lot of kayakers hit. But then above that, it flattens back out and you don't have that steep descent. But it's, I remember the first time I went in there, it was a Easter break or something like that. I had like a week off from teaching or whatever, a weekend. And it's a very popular camps. There's campgrounds all in there. And so you get a lot of different types of fishermen in there. Some that leave the little blue cups on the bank, and some that like to have 9 hooks on their lure, and some that like to cast them across your fly line because they're that close to you. That was my first experience. The next experience was the traffic jam of tubers, and it was crazy. It was crazy. So you can go up there, and there's maybe none of that going on because it's the winter time. But it'll be crowded with anglers because it is in close proximity to the Piedmont. It is in close proximity to Charlotte as well. So it takes 2 hours from Greensboro to get to Morganton. So you're thinking, okay, we're almost there. Then you got another 45 minutes from Morganton to Brown Mountain Beach, where the late harvest is.
Brown Mountain Lights.
You're the base of Brown Mountain. It's really cool.
Go look that up if you don't know what the Brown Mountain Lights
Brown
are.
Mountain Lights. It was on, they had an episode on the X-Files about it. Y'all remember that show, the X-Files?
I do. Yeah.
I believe. Just saying, I believe.
Elon Musk said there's no aliens.
That's exactly right.
Did he really?
Yeah,
He did.
He did.
Yeah, listen to it.
He lost $27 billion, too.
That doesn't mean he's wrong.
Stock's tanking.
Yeah, he just said that if you can't give me at least a 7-Eleven or an ATM quality picture of an alien, there's no proof. That's true.
I mean, yeah. If you
But
go,
we have that for Sasquatch.
I was about to say if you go by that standard, then
Yes.
then Bigfoot is real.
Yes.
They weren't talking about Sasquatch.
I'm just saying.
They're
If
just
you're
talking
using
about
that as
space.
if that's the measure.
If that's the standard, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
So, so it's interesting. I went back to Wilson Creek since opening the shop, 2014 when we opened, and it's got a different feel. So I went back. We fished with Michael Scoggin, good friend of mine, lives up in Boone, and we you see like a can of corn, and then right beside it a dirty diaper. This is on the delayed harvest.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
that's a bummer, right?
It's a
And,
bummer.
I mean, and they've got, actually, you and I were talking about this week. I found my old YouTube channel. Bobby reminded me that I started a YouTube channel.
I've seen him.
Here it is, man. He's plugging it. He's plugging his YouTube.
What, 3
His
videos?
first-
Dude, I haven't.
And there's
There's
like 3.
12 videos.
There's like
Those are
12.
12.
Some of them are screw ups that I didn't even realize uploaded. So I clearly didn't know what was going on. And so they're like repeats of the same video with a different title. But yeah, some of them have like 4,000 views. And Wilson Creek, I think, is one of them that has a couple thousand. But beautiful water, clear water. I saw a fish there move once 40 feet in this big pool. 40 feet to come eat a number 16 copper john. I kid you not. The water's that clear.
He did measure the raft trailer wrong once. I will say that.
You realize that things underwater do not look the same when they're out of the water, just due to refraction.
That's what she
right?
said.
I know that. But like I said, pertaining to the distance this fish traveled, she was actually surprised that
I saw
was
it.
larger.
I'm
but,
just saying, I
you know.
saw it turn and set the hook.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
40 feet?
It's in the video.
Do you have an ATM quality photo of that?
I have a GoPro quality photo of the pool that I saw it happen in.
Wait,
It's
that's
like
just
an
the
ATM.
pool. That's just
It's
the
like
pool.
the GoPro One though. So
It went from the other side of the pool to eat the fly.
was that really big pool?
Yes,
Or
up by
the-
the mill.
Yeah.
So there's
That
an
is a
old
big
mill
pool.
up there.
Oh, I'm not saying it is not. I'm just saying 40 feet.
I'll say it's more than 40 feet wide. I know that.
Okay.
So,
Thank
so-
you.
So it's possible. It's plausible.
How do you didn't know the fish wasn't 10 feet away?
What are you talking about? I saw it.
It's pretty clear pool. You can
I
see
saw the
bottom.
whole thing go down.
There's a lot of people said they seen a lot too. That didn't work out
Shannon
too good
giving
either.
you a hard time about your story here.
That's okay. I got
It's a fishing story in the fly shop.
what-
good.
what-
2.2K views. Homie.
Every trip I've had to Wilson Creek's been fun.
It's
I haven't
fun.
had
It's fun.
I haven't had the rough experiences of watching them pull the grill
Well,
across the river.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
The Drake magazine. This quarterly episode of the Drake, I call it, for I guess the spring. It has an article in here about Wilson Creek.
No.
Oh, we've been in the Drake a couple times around here.
The Wilson Creek Caper.
Caper? That's like a mystery.
I haven't read all of it, but here's a quote here. I woke up the next morning in nothing but my underwear, freezing my ass off. So I am interested to read this article, but it says Wilson Creek Caper, don't drink corn liquor with bait fishermen. So
Really?
oh yeah, they experienced some of what I have up there. Oh yeah. It is so remote it cannot be policed by North Carolina wildlife except on the first Saturday in June. So it's up there. So
People
people
play
can get
banjos.
away.
It is kind of
People can get away with anything up there.
yeah,
people-
it's kind of like a big snowbird type effect. Like
Yeah.
it's just out
Really?
there, man.
Yeah.
But it's even further back. The gravel road's longer.
Yeah.
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 You hear banjo music in the background?
I've taken the gravel road east direction all the way.
Oh, I have too.
It's crazy.
I've driven it all.
There's
the
a
way.
town back in there called Globe.
Globe.
Globe. One way on the dirt road takes you to Newland, North Carolina,
Yeah, okay. Newland.
and the other way takes you to Globe, and then up the back way of Boone.
Yep. I've driven all the way to
So
Bennett.
check out Wilson Creek, guys, but preferably before it gets too warm, because then things just get a little wild up there. So, but it is fun. There's some big fish in there and a lot of water. I'm not sure the mileage, but
Yeah, it's a good stretch.
yeah.
And the hatchery section's beautiful. Man.
Remember when that guy locked his keys in his car?
Oh yeah. I wasn't there for that.
That was
That was another one of your
so
trips.
I had a yeah, that was Wilson Creek. Crazy things go down on Wilson Creek. Had a leak in my waders. And it was February. It was cold. Cold. And I was like, guys, I'm gonna go sit in the car and warm up. And this guy came back to the car. I was like, hey man, did you catch any? Caught a few dumb stalkers. Cool, man. That sounds like a lot of fun. But he just was kind of like perturbed that he's fishing here, you know. And he goes to pull on the car door. Nothing. He's done locked his keys in his car. You know where cell phone service was?
Long ways away.
30
up there.
minutes back down the mountain.
Lenore, probably.
Almost.
Wow.
That's probably drive time. Walk time, it was a lot further than 30 minutes.
Let me just say, it was a good thing I had a leak in my waders and I was sitting there to save the day in my Honda Civic Hybrid. So, just saying. All right, we'll leave Wilson Creek. Almost, that's a tongue twister. We'll leave Wilson Creek. Clay County, Shannon, you're up. Fires Creek, we done talked about that.
Yep.
Never mind. Graham, Big
I
Snowbird.
knocked it out of the
Haywood.
Yeah,
park
but mention
already.
them. Mention them. We'll run through them.
Graham, you got Big Snowbird out there. Haywood, West Fork of the Pigeon. Henderson, North Fork of the Mills River. Did we talk about that one already?
Nope.
Pretty water. It gets warm in the summer. Beautiful water. You can get back in there. You and Justin have been back there to the dam, right?
We didn't make it all the way to the dam, but we fished we fished the wild water above the DH and camped back in there.
But there's some nice fish back there.
Yeah, it's pretty back in there. And back then, not a lot of people were back up in there, but now, I actually told Shannon, I drove over there, I guess it's been 3 weeks ago now, and they had the sign up, they had the gate closed. The lower campground was open, like for where the DH is, but the gate that goes up into the more remote, the non-bathroom facility area, they had a thing up with a sign saying, basically because people aren't taking care of it, that they're probably going to close it down and not let people camp back there anymore. And I was like, dude, that's sad that like people just can't pick up trash.
Well,
and take care of the camp areas.
So that gets into like that meeting I had this morning, the overuse,
Yeah,
loving it to death.
yeah,
So, and that's kind of why we're going over all this, is to help educate folks that there are other places out there
yeah.
to fish. And we went over that in the hatchery supported episodes talking about that. The tuck obviously gets a lot. But in a lot of cases, you're driving by delayed harvest to get to delayed harvest.
Yeah.
So it's delayed harvest is not a one-hit wonder. So there's 34 in 21 western counties. One is an hour and a half away from Greensboro that we'll talk about. So, and even closer for Winston-Salem. So yeah,
But the Mills is awesome. It's a pretty little river.
it's almost 4 million people, probably more now, that use that Pisgah Forest area
Really?
down there. I mean, that's a huge amount. That's more than Yellowstone. Yellowstone gets 4 million visitors.
Yeah, something like that.
I bet with the pandemic now, they're probably hitting 5 million down there in Pisgah. So, Jackson, y'all heard of any DHs in Jackson County?
I don't know anything about Jackson County.
Making
Something about some fly fishing trail.
now Madison. Have y'all talked about Madison? Any of the other?
Nope, we didn't talk about
Okay.
Shelton, Laurel, and those.
So you got Big Laurel, Shelton Laurel, Spring Creek.
So I got a story. Shelton, Laurel.
Let's hear it.
That's the first place I ever fly fished.
There you
Shelton,
go.
Laurel. Caught 3 tanks of rainbows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky.
So then I went like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times after and didn't catch jack.
There you go.
It was
Yeah.
it was to that point of I'm gonna quit because I don't know what I'm doing. And then the light bulb went off. But yeah, that was my first time ever fly fishing was the Shelton Laurel
Okay.
in the DH, which was cool. I remember exactly where it was. First fish, first trout ever. So y'all probably remember you too.
Have you fished up there, Shannon?
I have fished Spring Creek.
Oh, really?
Spring Creek,
Yeah.
not Spring Creek.
I was talking to a
DH.
guy in the shop today that
Going across Betsy's Gap
Has a house
fishing
up there.
Spring Creek.
by Shelton Laurel and Spring Creek.
Now, Shelton Laurel has got an interesting history. I think I've told you about this, Bobby. I don't know if you know, Shannon. In my really fantastic degree in history that I have from Western Carolina University, we read a book about the Shelton Laurel Massacre, and there's a history marker up there on Shelton Laurel about it. But seven people were lined up in front of a Confederate home guard. He was Confederate between the ages of 7 and 70, and shot. So they had deserted. Now you think about a 7-year-old, right? This is Civil War.
Yeah.
But they had went back home to help the family because they were starving in the winter. I don't remember what year it was, but sure enough, they just dropped them all right there.
Wow.
So when you're fishing that creek, there's some people lived on that creek, went through some hard times. So we need to really appreciate what we got and where we're at, and to be vertical. Moving on from Shelton Creek. Sorry, guys.
That just ain't changed the mood.
It did, but it's awesome. I went up there and fished it with Scott Majunkin. It's great. It's great water. It's the first time I fished it. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the Upper Nantahala, but just not the drops.
Yeah, it doesn't have the cascading effect.
The elevation change.
Yeah.
All right, so McDowell, I've not fished any of these. Curtis Creek, Mill Creek, Catawba.
That'd be Elijah Dale.
Yeah, Elijah would know a lot
We
about it.
should get him on here.
Man, that accent. That'd be good. He draws it out, man.
He does, doesn't he?
Worse than us.
Right.
Yeah, I've never fished any of those. I hear good things about the Catawba, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's supposedly pretty good. Because is that a section where you can actually put a boat on it?
There is some down there, and I think that's closer into Morganton.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I think some of this stuff, like Curtis Creek's that's more Old Fort, right? That's up from Old Fort, going north on 221, maybe. There's a geyser up there. Was it Andrews Geyser?
There's a geyser?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It's like a man-made one, though. From back in the day, though.
That don't count.
No, it does. Cool. It's from back in the day.
Well, they're all from back in the day.
No, but it's not.
That's coming down off the Blue Ridge if you get off,
Yeah.
correct? That's
Mhm.
pretty. It's pretty back through.
I'm gonna
there.
have to. I'm gonna have to
Sure,
go
pretty.
check that out one day.
Is it the Catawba or the Catawaba?
The Catawaba.
Catawba.
The Catawaba.
That's like Uwharrie.
You
That's
worry.
UW Harry.
I'm not worrying.
You worry.
You worry too much.
Mitchell, Cane Creek, North Toe River. I fished.
I've been to the Toe, never fished it.
Yeah.
Cane
Cane Creek is interesting. I think that's over closer to Burnsville,
Yeah.
I believe. But it can be kind of tricky. That's not a normal delayed harvest from the things I've heard. I haven't fished it, but heard some from guides that it can actually be tricky. It's not like your typical junk food delayed harvest experience. What else we got here? Polk. This is one Baker knows about.
Mm-hmm.
The Green River.
Yes.
He said that's a great one for that two-handed rod space stuff and switch rods.
I keep saying I'm going to go there and fish that, and I just
But the
Haven't
green also gets kayaked.
The upper end, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the narrows.
That's the
Green
narrows
River.
Is that what it-
yeah.
Green
Okay.
River races.
So how wide is the Green River?
I think
It
there's
gets pretty good
parts that you
size
can
down.
float.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that section they kayak, yeah, it's tight. Well, it's somewhat tight, but yeah, it's tight.
A gentleman that called from Columbia, South Carolina, we appreciate that. He asked about the Green, And I basically had told him, and Preston ended up talking to him.
Mhm.
So I think Preston's been down there too. He knew quite a bit
Yeah.
about it. I think he called back. And you talked to him, Bobby? The water was up or something like that?
Yeah, he wanted to know some info on some other rivers that weren't close to us,
Right.
so I gave him some contacts to call that
Yeah.
would have better knowledge on that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
You can't see the green from 26.
which is
I wonder just how tall that gorge section is right there from like the bridge when you cross over, because you can't see.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's jumped.
They have. I mean, people have died. I mean, it's a fact. And no, it is a fact.
Hopefully
It was
with
a
a bungee. Right?
no.
I tell you, you'd
no.
never make it on that bridge to go jump it because you'd be run over.
You're right.
It's
Absolutely.
skinny.
No, that is a dangerous area right there for sure.
yeah,
But yeah.
it is tight.
All right.
What county we to now?
Surrey. So we're kind of getting closer into the Piedmont Triad there. Ararat River. That's right there in Mount Airy. I mean, it's kind of like the Scotts Creek out here behind the shop.
You can go see Andy Griffith's house.
That's right. Get you a pimento cheese sandwich from that one place.
That's right, and get your hair cut at
Floyd's.
Yep.
That's right.
That's Mayberry.
While you're there,
Yep.
and go by Mount Pilot, see the mountain.
Mount Pilot.
Mount Pilot.
Pilot Mountain is a beautiful place.
It is.
Definitely. Y'all should go see it. So, and then this is the one I've referred to in some other episodes, the Mitchell River. That's a relatively new one too, in the program, but they call it the ditch.
Yeah.
And it kind of runs through some farm, and then, but it does go back into the woods. So it's got two characteristics. You get this kind of western feel to it, and then that's where it really does feel like you're fishing a ditch, a drainage ditch almost. But it's got a mill downstream, a beautiful, beautiful mill and pond. I think I heard that busted.
Oh, really?
Like
with some heavy rain.
Some heavy rains. The dam broke. I might be wrong on that. Somebody was telling me that here a few weeks back. So you're an hour and a half right there from the Piedmont Triad, even closer from Winston-Salem, certainly. But that is in Surrey County. And then there's not one in Stokes. This hatchery supported us in Stokes, the next county over, and that's on I think the Dan maybe.
Yeah.
So, or a tributary of the Dan River.
Is there still fish in the Dan River after the coal, or not the coal, the coal ash? It is coal.
Oh yeah, they're
coal ash
growing
thing.
really good now.
Yeah. The coal ash spill.
They might have 3 heads, but they're big. So, but yeah, that's Watauga. That's one I guess we hadn't talked about. Well, Transylvania, East Fork. Have y'all talked about that one? There's Little River. It's on here.
Yeah, Little River's awesome. I think Little River.
DuPont State Forest.
Yeah, Little River might rival one of the prettiest sections just because you've got the Hooker Falls, Triple Falls, and then I think it's High Falls is the big one that you can walk back to.
That was Last of the Mohicans, right? Triple Falls?
No, that was the one with the girl and the bow and arrow.
Nell?
No, it was
Robbinsville.
like 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah, the Hunger
Games.
Hunger Games?
That's where, it was filmed at Triple.
The Hunger Games.
Last of the Mohicans was the over by Lake Lure. What's
And
that?
Nell was Graham County.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Liam Neeson driving the Diesel Rabbit through downtown Robbinsville.
They used Triple Falls for Hunger Games, and then whatever that old abandoned town was somewhere in western North Carolina.
Gotcha.
Last of the Mohicans, I think, was up there by what's the mountain right there by Lake Lure?
Chimney Rock.
Chimney Rock.
Yeah, I think it's where a lot of it was.
We've had to get off of the sidetrack here, but quite a bit of films here due to just the nature of the scenery we have, the natural beauty.
I think that, and then also not anymore, but North Carolina used to give a great tax incentive for the movie industry. They don't do it anymore.
Rick was over that, and that was a big
what's
incentive.
interesting is somehow me and my wife got on this tie, and this is totally side aside while Dell's looking this up. Y'all know who Giada is? She cooks.
Yeah.
Really pretty Italian American.
Yeah.
Her grandfather was apparently a huge director. I didn't know all this.
Yes.
He had the first film studio in North Carolina in Wilmington.
Really?
He opened the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
she talked about that some on some of that about growing up around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
Her whole family did. Yeah. Did you find it, Dale?
Oh, it was definitely in DuPont. There were some filming locations in DuPont. Let's see. It was there was some stuff there around the Chimney Rock.
Great movie, by the way. If you're younger and you haven't seen The Last of the Mohicans, watch it because the scenery is just spectacular in it. The cinematography is.
I remember when I watched it was the first time I saw butts.
There you go.
Because they run around, you'd see their butts.
The one thing you really wanted to know about Dale today, there it is.
Last of the Mohicans.
So
Lost my innocence. Let's see here.
Gosh. Man.
Waterfalls Hiker is a cool website, but I can't find the answer quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
But
like
you
that,
know,
that area.
But you got the Little River. DuPont State Forest is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But the East Fork of the French Broad up around Rosman.
Yeah, that's
the
nice
thing
too.
about that, DH, you have to be real cautious. A lot of private land, a lot of land getting posted, and you keep losing access over there. So just
respect it, please.
Yes, and everywhere you go to, please.
That's one that is rumored to possibly be lost because of the lack of respect for private property.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's unfortunate.
So please, everywhere you go. And I know that the crowd we're talking to is that. So we have to educate.
That's it.
Help us educate.
That's right. So Watauga, back up to the northwest corner of North Carolina,
Not
just
far
south
from Boone.
that is Boone. Yeah.
it's right
So it's
there.
just south of Ashe County. You got the Watauga River, and that's a fun place to go to. Again, the right day, because it can get crazy in there. There's a little community called Valley Crucis down 105, and there's a park. And have you fished it, Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I fished it with you. That's where he broke Justin's rod tip in the door.
Yes, that's
It
right.
on
That
the
was that
Watauga.
day.
Yeah.
That was totally me, I think. But he said it there.
I think I said it there and you shut the door.
Oh,
So that was the team effort.
team effort. I
Fist
like
pump
it.
on that, right?
Boom. Sorry, Justin. Got that warranty, though.
I don't think that was a warranty. I think that was like a Bass Pro Shop one or something. It was a
That was a
cheap one.
Reddington.
It might have been. I don't know.
Y'all were excited about breaking the guy's rod, man.
Man, if you knew this guy.
I mean, just your enthusiasm
worse
just went
to
to
me.
another level.
He's done worse things to me.
Okay.
So
All right.
He tried to wreck my marriage one time.
the speech at he was the best man at my wedding, and the speech was worth it when he said all the sheep in Moore County are safe now that Bobby's married, and like he went down. He was drunk. He gave a speech when he was plastered. Yeah. So,
Dude, it's like the Wedding Crashers going on here, man.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. That's Justin. Love him. But he's grown up now.
Somewhat.
He's seen butts, too. So, Valley Crucis Park there in Watauga County. This is another DH that has lost some ground to private entities coming in. I think you had some access up there down Hound's Ear.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gone now. I think there's a golf course now or something. So a lot of that water there gets gobbled up and put into private. And you see a lot of big fish getting caught on Instagram. But they've got a great park there, easy access. I think the model for how counties should handle overuse with restrooms. They've got a great facility there. It's on stilts and everything out above the floodplain. But that's certainly an issue that has arisen on our own delayed harvest is, overuse and logistics and infrastructure, really. So
Man, it doesn't matter what you have. Some people just aren't going to take care of and do stuff. I was
That's
actually
right.
driving here today from Bryson City to Silva and past the boat ramp there at Barker's Creek, which has facilities.
Yep.
And literally from the 4-lane, I could see the guy peeing. Like he's just facing it and just, doing
maybe
his
the
thing.
door was locked.
I mean, why wouldn't you go down by the river behind the trees instead of facing the 4-lane?
Wow.
Leave no trace standards say you need to be 150 feet from a water source.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just doing his leave no trace thing.
He might have been close to 150 feet. He was on that side of the parking lot, the road side.
Maybe
of the
it's
parking
50. I'm making that up. I don't
Could have been writing a note.
Maybe he was protecting a baby elk. I don't know.
Wonder whose handwriting it was in.
lot.
Shannon, you saw Last of the Mohicans too early.
Whew. I'm older.
Coffee Lake. Never heard of that one. That's Watauga County. So they stock it the same day. So Wilkes County, this is in that same neighborhood, Stone Mountain State Park, just down the mountain from Boone, so kind of down the escarpment. East Prong or the Roaring River. And I fished that before it was a delayed harvest. Hooked up with a big smallmouth. He broke up 5X off. Shocker. Stone Mountain Creek. That's in the state park, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have to buy a special permit to fish that?
Not well. I don't know. Maybe
I
now
guess you got to
do.
pay to get into the state park.
When I fished it, you didn't have to. That I remember. I mean, that was a long time ago. But maybe you do now. I don't know.
I think I've heard something about that. It gets
Something to
heavily
check, for sure.
pressured or something like that too. So, Reddy's River and then Elk Creek.
You ever been to Stone Mountain State Park?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
No.
You never have?
Man, it's cool.
I've been to Georgia.
No,
it's really cool.
Way better than Georgia's.
Yeah, it is really cool. Because you can walk up on it and everything.
Right.
And they can't cancel it.
You get that good photo of looks like you're flying. You like do the Superman pose, like lay on your stomach and you lift up your front of your body. This is when I could do that. I probably can't do that. And you get the person to position right, and you can actually get a camera shot that looks like you're flying.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really pretty place. It's in a wilderness, so you don't get a view of downtown Atlanta from it. So you just see more trees and a pretty good long range view, but good waterfall in there too.
Yeah, there's several of them.
Yeah. So, but big. I guess it's kind of like what's the rock down there in Pisgah? Shining Rock.
Yeah,
Looking Glass.
Yeah, there's a couple you can slide.
Looking Glass Rock.
Yeah,
I remember doing that.
Then
We
there's
used to take
sliding
camping trips
rock,
there
but
in school.
Looking Glass Rock. Now, if you're driving down toward Hickory Way, and you're headed east, and you look back toward the left, and you see the big mountain back yonder.
Yep.
Is that where we're talking?
That's Hawksbill. No.
Okay.
No, this is going to be
Somebody's car alarm
west
going
of
off.
Winston-Salem, northwest.
We're all reaching in our pockets.
Everybody's checking. I didn't check mine. It can go off.
Mine's parked up the street.
No, that's too far away. It's that awkward moment of silence we're all listening for. Who's?
Can you hear that in our headphones?
Bobby's going to go check. But when you drive down through there, you can see.
That's Table Rock.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Table Rock.
Okay.
That's part of Pisgah National Forest above I-40. So that's I guess you got the Blue Ridge Parkway back up there a little bit too. But that's Hawksbill Mountain that you see from 40, and down at the bottom of Hawksbill Mountain is Linville Gorge.
Yeah. Okay.
So beautiful place up there. Wild. Holy cow, you're a long way from any help in there. Beautiful fishing. You better eat your Wheaties and pack a lunch.
So, out of these DH that we've talked about here, are there any of these that would support fish if it wasn't for delayed harvest?
Really?
What is it?
I think that might be me. My alarm.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So Dale's going to step away for a moment and see if his alarm is going on. We're going to hold that thought there for a second, and then somebody else's phone. You reckon it's letting you know that your alarm is doing that? We're in a learning mode here for just a moment, folks. I know we have an awkward moment, but
hey, it's all good.
We think that Dale's alarm may be going off in his Forerunner.
So it's not yours?
And then his phone goes off, which was like, is a vehicle letting you know that it's going off? It's connected.
Is it that Jeep beside yours? Yeah, the lights were flashing. Oh, I didn't see the lights flashing.
That's crazy.
But I did hit my unlock button and it quit, so it could have all just been circumstantial.
Oh, Dale.
Now you know I don't like keys in my pocket.
Yeah. So that's where, we're just kind of getting back to it, are these places that you feel like would support trout if it wasn't for DH?
Some of them would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think several of them would.
Mills River is a possible.
Yeah.
There in Transylvania County, East Fork of the French Broad, Transylvania. But the ones downstate, Surrey, definitely the Mitchell's going to get too hot. Ararat.
Yeah, I think those are probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anything up there kind of around Boone, that's a lot of those, because the elevation. I mean, you're at 3,000 feet.
But Watauga gets hot.
Yeah.
That river, because it's going through those golf courses, it gets very hot in the summer. There's no shade. So I think that hurts it.
So
even
does
though
Wilson
you're
Creek
3,000.
Wilson Creek warm up because of the rock?
I don't know.
It does warm up, but and I've caught brim in there.
Okay.
I've fished it in May and seen trout struggling. It is a bedrock, so there's not a lot of pebble, so it's bedrock and it's going to absorb that radiant heat from the sun a lot faster. And that water is so clear that more of those UV rays get in there. So I think it is tough. Now, there are some tributaries that feed into Wilson that are amazing that I'm not going to name.
Dave Johnson went and fished one of them.
He did.
Man, they whacked some fish on
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
The DZ.
Just go hike Brown Mountain. Trying to think, looking at the list here. I mean, certainly, the one, the Laurel, Shelton Laurel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's got a shot.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the ones that you guys know and
Mhm.
you've been to down that neck of the woods. Would they potentially?
I honestly, I don't think any of the only delayed harvest in the state that I think should not be a delayed harvest because it does produce fish on its own is Snowbird Creek, Big Snowbird.
I think Upper Nantahala would too.
Yeah, but we've seen that get hot.
Yeah, but there's still wild rainbows all in that.
There
thing.
are, but they can freely swim up from the lower too.
Yeah.
West Fork, Sunburst.
Yeah, I think West
Yeah,
Fork
Yeah,
would.
because
yeah.
when I was, that was.
I think there's quite a few.
Yeah.
I think Fires Creek would too, probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
it's shaded up there pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
that
coming
water
down
comes from
from
up the mountain. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
There's probably quite a few.
But
though,
okay, so out of 34 delayed harvests, y'all can name 4 that could hold fish. That's not good odds.
I think I'd have to see like more data on it than just guessing at it. We're kind of,
mean, you can
kind
look
of
at-
taking a stab at it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're also taking into consideration some elevation stuff too. And
I mean,
shade.
like
Right.
Wilson Creek's a great example. Is what's the elevation of the creek? I mean, I've seen trout survive the
2450.
tuck through the summer. They can probably survive Wilson Creek at 65 degrees or whatever. Like I don't think Wilson Creek gets as hot as the tuck and fish hold over. And there's some deep pools. In
Wilson Creek is hotter than the Tuck. I can
It
tell
is
you right
deep.
now.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Wish there was something.
Go look at the amount of tubing happening.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a ton
They
of tubers
tube-
on Deep
I know
Creek,
there's a ton of tubers on Deep Creek.
but tuber's not a good
but-
scientific
No,
factor.
it's not. But it turns into a big bathtub. Like it is. It gets hot. I've been up there in the summer thinking, yeah, we can fish this, and no.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've seen fish struggle on that delayed
Sure.
harvest in May.
Yeah. Just a question.
So-
I mean, not that there's a right or wrong. I'm just curious. Somebody's going to ask, so I'm asking for them.
Yeah. I don't believe that Wilson Creek gets hotter than the Tuck.
Obviously, I went and tried to fish it in June.
Yeah. But I'm just saying I
I was
don't
catching.
believe- I mean the Tuck's gotten close to 80 degrees in some summers. There's no way
That drought summer was rough.
Yeah, Mac was all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on it.
So
Got you.
well, anyways, that's a bunch of creeks that you can go visit for 8 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year. It's a good place to maybe
Right
go
now,
hit.
man, they're all
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they stock just like any other DH. All of those get stocked in October, November, March, April, May, pretty much on a yearly basis unless something crazy happens. Stone Mountain this past year didn't get stocked in the spring a couple times because of the state parks being closed because of COVID. But other than that, all the rest of those
Yeah.
got stocked. So
Did they get Wilkes County stocked after the mechanical issues?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything else about that last week. They must have had a truck or something. break.
AKA truck broke.
Yeah.
Do you believe that if the state moved delayed harvest from November 1 through into June, that the fish would be okay for another 30 days,
Yeah.
expanding into June,
Yeah.
and open up the DH to
So you're
catch
saying
and keep regulations?
Harvest in July.
Harvest in July around the 4th of July
so you're
weekend.
saying first stocking in November, second stocking in December.
Mhm.
Then
You move it.
do-
That's what Georgia does, right?
Georgia
starts
starts
in
in
November,
November.
but it
Yeah.
ends in.
I don't know.
They
when
open it up
is.
in May, I think, for harvest.
Yeah.
Huh.
I always wondered if they moved it back.
They ain't going to change
Just-
it. We
I
that.
know where. No, they're not. But if they shifted it 1 month and just kind of evenly,
Yeah.
that would throw that opening harvest opening right around the 4th of July,
That's
which
right.
is the same time that they do that free fishing day for residents of North
That'd be
Carolina.
great PR for them.
I'd say for probably 95% of the DHs, that would be fine.
Because we get an amount of people who come here June the 12th that are here to fish the DH
Mm-hmm.
because it's their vacation time.
And it still fishes good.
And it's it's not what it was 6 weeks ago, of course.
Yeah.
So it's it's not the same. And I thought maybe just shifting it
Yeah.
one way across the board might be.
That's science, though. It's for the
Who knows?
birds. It's
She
for the
blinded
birds.
me with science.
Yeah. Who knows?
Shazam!
Hey, can you fish articulated streamers on DH?
Absolutely.
I thought so.
Why can't you?
I would.
Just make sure they don't foul when you cast them. That you're.
Yeah.
That's seriously. I mean.
Well, I mean, it's a question I get asked a lot in the shop.
I've never been asked that one.
Really? Maybe you just
Is
don't
it-
look like a streamer guy.
Is it? I don't. Is it treble hook? Is it treble hook one hook?
Hooks, yeah.
Is it treble hook one hook?
There's 3. And I know how to put on my Norvise light now.
Yes, you
Thanks
do.
to Shannon.
You know, speaking of Norvise, we got a new accessory that just went live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hold those up to a camera?
Yeah.
Here you go.
I'll do my best.
Right here.
We
in
got
front
2 of
this
them.
one.
We got one stainless.
Put it
and
in the
one
water. Maybe it'll look bigger.
Right there. Show them off. Put it in front of this camera.
All right. So this here is the new Inline Hub. Can you see it right there, Bobby?
Looks
Yep. So right there's the new Inline Hub. We have 2 sets of those here at the shop. We have one in stainless and one in the brass. So if you're looking to get this, it's these are just released. They officially went live on Sunday night. So this gives you the benefit. You get a new hub, which is get that out of the packaging here. Is going to be on the center. So it rotates right there on the center axis. And if you're doing, you want a little bit more access maybe for tails, if you're doing shanks, things like this, this is a good accessory to add to your tool belt. So if you're looking for one of these here, be sure to give us a call. We can hook you up when no one else may be able to right now.
That's right.
Honestly,
Yeah.
we got a couple of those here. So
What? So I noticed on my standard.
Yeah.
That when I'm trying to put in the let's say the Coke de Leon or the pheasant tail for the tail.
Yeah.
I've got sausage fingers.
Yeah.
Is that going to help me get that tail in? Because that hook needs to be level with the jaw, right?
if
On
you
the standard.
right, if you're wanting to spin as smooth as
Oh wow.
you can, but you can. I mean, if you lift your hook up 1/8 of an inch, it's not the end of the world either.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
I've
can do-
been
but
noticing it's hard
yes,
to pinch it on there.
You might need those fine point jaws.
But yes, that the shape of that right there is going to give. That's what Elon Musk said to the rocket designers. You got to
need the fine
Did
point
you get that
jaws?
podcast yet? Did you?
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's good.
I've only watched snippets of it on like YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
just listened to it
yeah, I
yesterday.
haven't listened to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Elon.
yeah.
Got a college named after him.
That's bad.
What?
Not here.
Fighting Baptist.
Is that their mascot, the Fighting Baptists?
Yeah, I'm
I didn't
thinking
know
that was the Fighting Christians, or
It used
I
to
think
be.
that's
It used to.
offensive
Yeah.
now too, so.
It used to. I think they're the Phoenix.
That's it.
It's
There's
the
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's the Phoenix. They changed that back in the
But my
90s.
boys, the Guilford Quakers, are still rocking.
Are they?
Yeah.
There you go.
Quakers
Nice,
try not to
man.
offend anybody.
Knows I'm doing this, so I don't know why she's.
Well, hopefully everything's
Unless
safe.
the bear's
Maybe, I was
attacking
about
her.
to say, maybe the cat brought up another varmint.
Ooh.
Maybe. Who knows?
Speaking of that, as we approach warmer weather, things are going to start crawling out there in the woods.
No, that's true.
It's going to be. So, be on the lookout for
Come in and get your bear spray from us.
the reptiles.
Bear spray
They
for
will
the
start.
reptiles.
No, I mean they're.
It might work.
I
too.
was going down the
Get away
reptile
from me, you
path, and
copperhead.
Bobby's exactly. That's what I'm thinking about.
Hey, you can most
Seriously.
likely survive a snake attack, but a bear attack.
What's the only place that's got the antivenom in Western North Carolina? If you get bit by a rattlesnake,
I don't know.
Probably
I think it's Asheville.
I'd say that's
It's like 14 grand. or
actually.
something like
I
that.
think my wife looked into that. I think Silva has it too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think she. But it is. Yeah, it's like 20 grand to get.
So don't get bit by a snake out
Yeah.
here.
There was
It's really expensive.
few years ago that I had, I took out a couple of this family's sons, and they were older, they're college age. But the mom, I was talking to her. She's at Vanderbilt University, and that's what she does.
Herpetology.
She does that with the poisonous snakes, and she gets the the venom and does all that stuff with it. It's pretty interesting.
Milks them.
Yeah, she does all the.
That's what they call it.
Pretty
Milking
wild.
the snakes.
Oh yeah,
That's-
they used to do it over in Maggie Valley over there at SoCo. They had the zoo, SoCo Zoo over
Oh,
there, and
yeah.
they had a big snake pit full of them old rattlers. And he'd go around and he'd come around and hold that thing, like
See,
hold it.
all I
you
can
know, like
picture is
this.
like Santa's Land, and this
Yeah.
is some exhibit in Santa's Land. It's a snake pit.
No, it's over. It was in Maggie. It's not
Yeah.
there no more. SoCo
Yeah.
Zoo and Gardens.
Man, can you imagine getting drunk and wandering into that thing and falling in one night? Golly.
That's something out of a movie, isn't
Like
it?
Indiana
jeez.
Jones.
That's a
I
Clark
hate
Griswold,
snakes.
man. That's Clark Griswold. That's right. Absolutely. So we'll hit a fishing report here pretty soon, and
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
get in that.
Yeah.
So we'll get a fishing report there. Mr.
Cue the
Depp.
water.
Time to go pay.
Oh, gosh. Is that a spinning rod drag going out?
No, it's not.
Did you make that sound?
No, I did not.
Well, so the fishing guys, I just put a blog post up with on our guidelines blog, tuckflyshop.com, as well as with Marvin and the Articulate Fly. But man, it's fishing like April.
Sorry to interrupt you. This fishing report is brought to you by Norvice.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was actually the
Better
guy
flies faster.
My bad. I thought we
Fish.
fish. I thought we was doing. I'm sorry, Tim, but I thought we was doing the guy tip of the week.
No, they
that.
do the fishing report.
We got you.
Norvice, get you one.
Yeah, tie better flies faster.
Sorry,
And we-
Dale.
And we
Efficient.
and we showed the jaws.
That's right.
We
We
did
did
show
show
Yeah,
the
the
jaws.
jaws.
there we go.
All right, Dale, go for it.
Now go
Fishing
for it.
report.
So yeah, go out there. Your delayed harvest. Start with your flashy colored up stuff, your egg patterns, woolly boogers, and rainbow warriors and such. If you find this is one thing we get so drawn in sometimes to fishing two flies, and I'll find that only one of them's working, and as long as it's heavy enough to get down to where you need it. I was fishing Sunday with John, and only one fly was working. It was an egg pattern with some split shot, and I had above it like a rainbow warrior or something, right? And I was like, I hadn't caught a fish on this yet. I'm not going to worry about this dropper. And so we get set up out there with just one egg on trying to drag it across the bottom, and that was all we needed. So don't feel like you got to have two. This maybe ties into a guide tip. I don't know. Don't feel like you got to have two flies on there or something. So sometimes we overcomplicate this thing, and we just need to simplify it and have some fun with it. But and there's the afternoons and some really good hatches kicking, quills. Your caddis are flying, your stone flies. It's just these bugs think it's April, so it's just a good time to get out. But we've sort of already. I've been saying we're going to pay for this good weather. Man, well, we are. Relative humidity is what? And what happened yesterday? We had a wildfire up Balsam.
I want to be optimistic.
It's supposed to rain every day next week.
I want to be optimistic.
40% chance.
I want to be optimistic.
I'm just saying.
It'll be optimistic.
It'll
We're
change
already
tomorrow.
on burn bans.
But it's amazing when you think about how much rain we've had, and you get an alert about
That's right.
Yeah, wildfires.
there's no burning ban.
No,
but
there's
there
not
is
yet.
right. There's no burning ban, but you get the humidity and the wind.
Yeah.
It's a recipe, of course.
That's
and
right.
That happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take long for leaves and stuff to dry out.
I mean, that one
Absolutely.
yesterday could have been somebody throwing a cigarette out the window.
Absolutely.
It was
Mhm.
right beside the highway,
Mhm.
but there were trees on fire.
Yeah.
Like the crown fires.
Yeah, that's what happened over here, up here behind the BP.
That's
It
right.
Just
And
went up the
it's-
mountain.
It reminds me of
I don't have a good
the-
sound effect for that.
the trees up in Yellowstone exploding in that
Gotcha.
88 fire.
Mhm. Oh yeah, you were there.
I was there in '88. Saw it live.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Sorry, I didn't have an ATM camera with me to take pictures of it. To
Oh,
prove
people had pictures.
that I was there.
People had pictures.
Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
Can I fish with corn?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious.
It's like, is that a trick question?
No, I'm just asking.
hatchery sport waters are still closed, but delayed harvest are still open.
And we still get calls.
That's right. Well,
I'm glad you're calling. See, Shannon said today, I'd rather you call and ask. than
Absolutely.
You go out there on your own like Dale did one day and still get a ticket.
right. People may. I think there's honest mistakes, and there's people we can tell
Yeah.
that are not honest
no,
honest
totally.
mistakes. We've all been there before, and not necessarily saying fishing, but we've like, oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
it happens, and as it warms up, your national park waters and stuff are going to get better too.
Yeah.
So keep that. in
Yeah,
mind.
I
So
mean,
a lot of things are going to
With
start
the
to get.
daytime temps right now, it's like 60, 60, 60s every
I
day.
think like it was 67 today. I think where we topped out this morning, it was
Yeah.
25
It was
roundabout.
cool this
I mean,
morning.
that's a 40-degree swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
wild.
like being out west. Reminder, just a public service announcement. You got to change the clocks this weekend.
That's right.
So this time next week, it will be an hour ahead. It's going to gain you
Yeah.
some more daylight for some more
But
evening
you're going
time
to lose
fishing.
that hour of sleep.
You'll get it up eventually.
It'll come back.
You'll gain it back.
So this week's guide tip of the
recovery.
week. the guide tip of the week. We're going to make this brought to you by Norvice, too, since we missed the fishing report
Tie
there.
better flies
That's it.
faster.
Efficient.
So the guide tip of the week is, being that we're getting these warmer days, and you folks in Florida already know this, get you some sunscreen. It's one of them things that be smart about it, and get some sunscreen.
No, you're good, man.
So get good sunscreen for your face, especially your hands. Even if you got long sleeve shirts on, your hands and stuff are super important to protect and things like that. So we carry some here in the shop. If you forget it, swing in and grab it. Be smart about it. There's actually I want to bring somebody in and talk.
Yeah,
have a
that's
podcast all on like skin conditions and sunscreen and skin cancer and how effective it is. You know, I actually saw for you folks that are in the fly fishing world, you may know this name Meredith Mccord. She's got a lot of world records on the fly for saltwater and freshwater fish. She posted it. She actually had to have a spot removed, and it was so deep it took 12 stitches to close up where they removed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's what reminded me of this. Is, hey, just kind of be. I know it sucks. I hate putting on sunscreen. I hate wearing buffs. I hate all that. But in 20 years, you're going to go, man, I wish I'd have put on sunscreen or wore a buff or anything like that. So it's to your advantage to do it.
Sure.
So that's the guide tip of the week.
And it I think it just goes hand in hand. We talk about the changes in the environment and things like that. We talk about UV protection. There's a lot to that. The technology we have today, the products we have today, sunscreen. Man, they've got these sunscreens here. You can it's like a stick.
Yeah, the face stick.
You just kind of like put it on your face, man.
It's like putting on that football paint, the little eye.
Yeah,
stuff.
just do it, man.
Yeah.
Just go do your best Bryce Harper and just smear it everywhere, and
that's it.
And you'll be good to go. And a good quality hat too, man. So that's awesome.
That's it.
We got some of them.
We got plenty of hats.
I look like I put on that River Eddy hat, and I look pretty cool.
There you go.
I put on the other hat. I didn't look so cool.
Oh,
wow. Well, anyway,
it's a good show. Good show.
It was.
We appreciate everybody listening.
We was all over the place too.
Yeah, we were. It was one of those episodes where we go all over the place. Sorry about that, but I hope you enjoyed it.
And that kind of really wraps up that delayed harvest aspect of it that we wanted to get. And we knew that just in all fairness and maybe some benefit to some folks near the Charlotte area or wherever, Greensboro, that, letting you know there are places your way. If you can't get here, you've only got a short amount of time. You have opportunities, but we still love you to come here. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, come see us.
Come see us. We want
Ours
you to come.
Ours are the best.
Absolutely. They really are. Just a special thank you to Norvice for making this episode possible. To learn more about the Norvice fly tying system, visit www.nor-vice.com.
It's efficient.
Or visit them on YouTube at Nor-Vice and see the Norvice in action. We have to get Dale on the Norvice tying.
We do. Get him to have a little fun with it.
We'll get Dale on the Norvice.
On a YouTuber.
Yeah, man. He's grinning from ear to ear. All right. I'm ready to go home.
Me too, man. Let's go eat.
That wraps up another exciting and informative episode of the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service, located at 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, North Carolina, and 530 West Main Street, Sylva, North Carolina. Be sure to visit www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. If you have a question or comment, feel free to send those to info@tuckflyshop.com or give us a call, 1-828-488-3333. For Coach Dale Diesel Collins, Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennett, I'm Shannon, Big Mess Messer. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to catch a few fish out there, won't you? Y'all take care.